Welcome back, everybody. Today I would like to talk about a very passionate subject of mine, which is people pleasing. So, coming from a former people pleaser that spent all my life telling people what they wanted to hear, neglecting my own needs, going that extra mile for people, I want to share how it's the most disingenuous, dishonest and unloving thing you can do. Now, let me explain. I'm all about helping others. I'm all for unconditional love and serving others. However, if that is to the detriment of yourself, it's coming from a place of fear and not love. And what I've discovered about people pleasing is it's actually a trauma response. It stems from our childhood. And it stems from us really just not wanting to feel an emotion. So if I can control the external world and kind of appease or make people happy, they're going to like me and I'm not going to be rejected. So therefore then I won't feel that emotion associated to rejection or abandonment. But of course we can't feel an emotion without having a certain belief attached to it, and rejection, abandonment, the belief attached to that is I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, all these things, but of course they're not true. So then what we do, we don't like that emotion and we then tell people what they want to hear, be kind, be disingenuous, agree with people, morph our opinions to suit theirs so that we're not rejected. And I went through all my life doing this, and I was very good. I could be a chameleon. I could kind of shapeshift from group to group, and I could go from one group and know a certain little bit about what that group liked and enjoyed, and I could fit right in, even if it meant slagging off another group or moaning about them, and then go to that group too and do the same thing. And you see, I could slide in between all these groups and be a likeable person and always, oh, Dave's a nice guy, he's a nice guy. But you see, it was coming from a place of fear, and it wasn't authentic on my behalf. It's not authentic to the people I was doing it to, and actually it's pretty shady and it's pretty sly, but that was my way of coping, because in childhood I had a huge abandonment wound from my mother leaving me when I was 3 years of age, and I didn't want to keep poking that wound, so I would do anything to keep that wound safe and at bay, because at the root of that wound was a belief that I wasn't good enough, don't deserve love, I'm not worthy, I shouldn't be here, I can't really contribute much. But you see, with that erroneous belief system that I had, there's an uncomfortable emotion attached to it. And the more uncomfortable an emotion, it shows that you have an erroneous belief system about yourself, because you are perfect. You always have been. You always will be. We've come here to play the great game of pretending, to pretend we're not magnificent beings. But we are. We are perfect and unique exactly as we are. And we've come to share our unique gifts and talents with the world. And this is what makes it all tick along. And if we're all genuine and harmonious and had authenticity and could just share our gifts and views without the fear of being rejected or people pleasing getting in the way, I believe we would tick along far more smoothly. But it's a world of masks, and people wear these masks for whatever reasons, and it's generally to protect ourselves. It's no criticism, I've done this all my life, but when you do this, when you say yes when you mean no, that fifth centre here, the throat, it gets blocked. You can also hit burnout in your third centre, the solar plexus, because you're depleting your energy or giving away, and you're not filling your cup. And what's that old saying? You can't pour from an empty cup, can you? So when you keep giving and not being authentic to yourself, this is when burnout happens. Now, I'm not saying we go around be horrible to everyone. Now we've got our voice and we start calling everybody out on stuff. There's a time and a place. But if you say your truth to another person with integrity, sincerity and loving compassion, then you are not responsible for how that other person perceives those words. And if it does prompt an emotional response within them, that is an indication within them that they have some unhealed wounds, stuff that needs looking at too. So actually the most loving thing you can do is to be honest and speak from a place of truth, because you are offering that person an authentic reflection of their actions and behaviours, rather than telling them what they want to hear, perpetuating their false narrative voice in their head, and you're joining in with it at detriment and sacrifice to yourself. So, as always, my message is unconditional love. It's the only thing that will heal this world. When it's egos against egos, it's not going to work. This is how wars start. This is how all the friction in the world starts, because we hold sets of beliefs. But as always, the antithesis or the opposite to any belief, there is always the opposite. Someone has to hold the opposite in order for you to gain a reflection and become self-aware. So who is right or wrong? You see, the world is neutral and meaningless to some degree, and that's not a nihilistic sense. It's just that we attribute individual meanings to each and everything we see. You'll probably see in the background of this room totally different to how I'm perceiving it. You're picking out different things and you're giving them meanings to what I would give them. So you see, the world is totally unique to us, and this is what we need to have: love, acceptance and compassion to everyone's perception of the world. It's not a defined reality, but it's relatively real to them, and we have to honour that. And if it does cause some frictions over people's perceptions of the world, we can challenge it in a healthy, loving way and come to a harmonious, amicable agreement. So if this video resonated with you, if you are a people pleaser, if you're a formal people pleaser, identify the origin of your people pleasing wounds or traumas. Where did it come from? Why do you do it? What emotion are you not comfortable feeling? Why do you keep everyone happy so you don't be rejected? And what is the belief at the core of that emotion? What could you possibly believe about yourself to be true with that emotion? So I hope this helps. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and please be authentic and genuine. It's the most loving thing you can do to yourself and others. Lots of love. Have an awesome day.